Welcome this Sunday evening, February 25th. We're so happy that you took time out of your busy schedule to join us.
And if you see us kind of going, it's because literally we just jumped in here. We are now down in Florida and on the Emerald Coast where the sun just set a couple of minutes ago. And it's been crazy. We have just set up half of our studio here. Look at all these colored lights over there. Aren't those nice?
Yeah, pretty. I like the lights.
Yeah.
Who needs a Christmas tree?
So
bring that out.
Yeah. So I set up a brand new portable studio, and it came in great big suitcases, and I finally brought everything I need, and I was just starting to set it up, but I forgot we're on Central Time now, and we go on the air at Eastern Time. So it's no problem for guys like our friend Ed Richards, I see, who was one of the first ones on this morning, this evening. And how do you, Ed, in Baton Rouge? He knows that it's 7 o'clock Eastern is really 6 o'clock Central, and I will figure it out. We'll be on the Central Time Zone, I think, for a few weeks, won't we? Yeah, so that's good. So anyway, welcome to all of you. The big announcement is about our summer meetup. We announced all the details, and we're doing all of this through our RV lifestyle community, which is not on Facebook. We have, if that's new to you, we've been talking about it for a long time, and we really invite you to join. And it's just this is all anecdotal. I don't know what it means, but when we sign up on Facebook, when we announce our group, a gathering on Facebook, remember our Facebook group now has 320,000 members. When we announce it on Facebook, it takes 3 days maybe to sell out, sometimes 4. We announced this on our community, which is nearing 10,000 members, just a fraction of it. It sold out in 25 hours, or 24 hours, literally 24 hours. We were sold out. We have a waiting list of, I think, 5 or 6. And those of you, if you are on the waiting list, there always are about that many cancellations. That's just been our experience.
Things happen.
Yeah. And so we will fill it from there. First come, first served. But all this is to tell you that we really invite you to join here. And it proves what we've been saying about Facebook. When you make a post on Facebook, it only is seen by a small percentage of the total members of that group. So think about that. 320,000 members, it takes 3 days to fill up one of our gatherings, which is really fast. On our new community, it filled up in 24 hours. And you could argue that these are more true RVers on this group. And I think they are, because it's so different than Facebook. Everybody's friendly. There's no nastiness. But it's all for us to say to you, please come over and be a part of that community, because we have so much fun. I won't talk about it again until we leave, and I'll tell everybody, or if you ask questions about it. Okay, let's go to your questions. Did I do too much of a sales pitch there? Probably.
Whatever.
Ron Wojcicka.
Hello, Mike and Jen from upstate New York.
Hey, Ron, good to have you with us tonight. I'm always a pleasure to see you. And Bob Hoke is here.
If I should decide to go to Texas to view the solar eclipse in April, where would you suggest a place to go?
Well, look at that narrow band of where it is, and look at it as it passes through Texas. Identify some towns, and then just start Googling RV parks along those lines. Because
Phyllis is here to help.
Yeah, Phyllis.
There is a wonderful post in the community all about this with lots of resources, and even Harvest Host has a great article where they can show you all the Harvest Hosts along the whole path too.
So it is in the community. Do you know which space it's in?
I think it's under campgrounds.
Okay, so go into the community, Bob, and if you haven't joined, this is your chance. And then just do a search for Eclipse, and you'll find those posts. That's great. Thank you, Phyllis. I was going to kind of go around to that and saying I think we've got some resources in the community, but you saved me sending a lot of time. Steve Egbert.
Hi from California. Sunny and 74 today. Hope everyone is getting some spring weather. And that we are. The temperature here today was
75 degrees.
Wow, we beat California, and it was sunny.
Yeah.
A rare thing.
Yeah, beautiful day. And I guess it's going to be.
I'm not in Michigan anymore. I'm in Florida, so you expect sunny.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be in the 70s.
Nashville last night. I said to Mike, what do we call it? we're not jet setters but we're
Yeah.
sure covering the miles.
Road trippers. I don't know what we
Yeah.
are, but man,
We're covering those highways.
Yep. Hi, Pam Morrison,
Hello from San Francisco.
the city by the bay. Susan Lister,
And hello from
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Southern Carolina.
Yeah, Southern Carolina.
Yeah. Maybe she's
work.
in the southern point of. She's probably in the southernmost part of South Carolina. So, Mark Pelori.
Ooh, hello, aloha.
Aloha in Kailua, Hawaii.
Yeah.
The island.
I would like to go back to Hawaii.
The Garden Island.
Yes, we were there. We spent a week there.
RV Electricity,
Loved it.
Mike Sokol. Hey, Mike, in Funkstown, Maryland, home of the Funks work. And Mike, we'll have to get you on one of our community talks because we're going to talk about this new soft start that does such an amazing job of making you be able to run the air conditioner on lower power. So stay tuned. I'll give you a call this week, and we're getting our soft stop. We're going to be testing out a bunch of different bee vans, and so we'll have fun testing that one out as well.
We're going to be busy bees.
We're going to be busy bees, yeah. Pam Morrison.
Mike and Jen, I have followed you for several years because of your content. My husband and I purchased our perfect first RV at the Pleasanton RV show this month. It is an LTV 2022 rear twin bed.
Lisa
Congratulations.
Shalaban, rear twin bed. Those are our favorite ones.
Mhm.
Congratulations indeed.
Oh, and even got to meet Dean.
Yeah, well, that's great. That is great. I didn't see I missed what show she said it was at. Yeah, we saw Dean just a couple weeks ago in Tampa. She was at the Pleasanton show. Okay, good. Where's Pleasanton? Must be west because that's Dean's territory. Where's Pleasanton, Pam? Type that in real quick and then somebody will come up with me. All right, Sturgeon Photography.
Okay, need a satellite receiver for TV reception while on a trip out west to Yellowstone, Glacier, etc. What would you suggest? And what about internet through a satellite receiver?
Iffy internet. Don't let them tell you it's good because it is not. If you just want satellite, go with Dish. They have a fairly cheap unit involved, and I say cheap, I mean inexpensive, that will work right. But don't think you're going to get internet out of a satellite television system. You won't. It's crawls. If you're going west, particularly Yellowstone Glacier, where it can get real iffy with cellular coverage, the best system is Starlink, which is satellite internet only. However, if you are on internet by satellite, you can stream all your shows. I really think a satellite TV receiver for TV is redundant now with SpaceX and with Starlink. So I know that's what we do. I used to have a satellite dish. We didn't use it. Every time we went someplace, we had to reestablish connections. It was a pain. And now I use nothing. I use Starlink, and we stream all of our stuff through Starlink, and it does awesome. So that's what I would recommend. All right. Jody McCain.
I just got back from a weekend of camping. 5 women, each with our own rig. Just loved it. Glad to get back in time to visit with you all. Well, we're glad you got back in time to visit us also.
I wonder where Jody was. I don't know. That's good. Everybody, we're surprised how many RVs we saw coming south the last 2 days, all the way down through Nashville yesterday, and then from Nashville here to the Gulf Coast. But in fact, we came down following a Montana high country, kind of like ours. Everybody seems to be moving on this time.
Well, everybody's got different breaks.
And for those of you in the north, if you want to know where spring is, it's right north of Montgomery, Alabama right now. That's where we first noticed everything budding. We saw some blooming daffodils up in Nashville, but the actual leaves starting to come out north of Montgomery, Alabama. At least that's our official look at. There's where spring is. So it's coming north. Dave Matheson.
Question. When you did the slab at your Tennessee site, did you have it built completely level or off level to drain water? Did they keep in mind the AC water off the roof also?
We kept in mind that because actually there's a lot, well, not so much from that, but there's a lot of runoff off the roof of a fifth wheel. And at one point it really eroded when we first set up just a our first
Gravel.
try at a gravel
Whatever it is.
set. It eroded like 6 feet deep in some spots. So this one, yes, we did set it up to drain it off, and it drains through the back. And I actually have my rear gutters coming off the back end of our RV. It fits over the back down
Our drop off.
down the drop off where we've got lots of irrigation rocks and stuff built up. So, but we're up high, and but remember water, yeah, and
Water always wins.
water always wins. Yep, it does. Jody McCain.
I installed my soft start on my own. Now I can run my AC plugged into my 15 amp outdoor outlet. Really handy when I want to clean and organize the rig before a trip in the North Carolina summer.
I tell you where the soft start is, and we'll be showing it. I'll show it to you. I may do a. I don't know if I can do it this week, but we'll try and get Mike Sokol on. Maybe we'll do a live thing in our new community and do the electricity part. We'll show you how these things work. But where they're awesome in the summer, if you're mooch stocking at friends or neighbors, you can plug into their 15 amp house circuit and run your AC. If you have if you're in a 30 amp, anything, if you need a lot more AC for a really big rig, that's probably not going to work. But for those of you in Class C's, most travel trailers, and even in some of the bigger ones where you have dual air conditioning, it'll work one of them. So they're pretty cool, and we'll talk about that. They've got a new one. It's very compact, very simple, and Jody installed all by themselves. So it's awesome. Bobby Craven.
Back in the day when you were Class Bers, did you have your RV super bags dry cleaned, or do you do it yourself? I have washed them myself. It never even entered my head to have them dry cleaned. So I wonder if I should have had them dry cleaned. That's kind of like a little plastic film on them. And I would wash them and then air dry them.
They're sitting in the back of my truck right now.
Maybe
in
we
plastic
should
bags, because we're going to be testing out a bunch of different vans, and we're going to be sleeping in them in our super bags then.
Yeah, I should contact the company that manufactures them and ask how they suggest keeping them clean.
We've had them.
I know,
Bobby,
but
yeah.
No, I am the super nose. And even though I have allergies and I can't smell, I like everything really super fresh.
Well, there you go.
So I really think I need to contact them.
But we've had ours now for 12 years.
I know.
And they've been great. And
They need a little.
Okay. Well, you wash the sheets. You pull all the sheets out, but you're thinking maybe the surface?
Well, the bags for our clothes. I mean, it's like a suitcase, you want it fresh and clean.
Oh, I thought they were talking about our no, the RV super bag is the sleeping bag. The e-bags.
I'm thinking e-bags. I'm caught up in e-bags. The RV super bags.
That's what we sleep in.
I wash them. Yeah. I do wash them. And I'm thinking the little e-bags.
Yeah.
No, I wash them and I try to let them air dry.
Yeah, the super bags are.
In fact, I think it says not to have them dry cleaned. The zippers, and you're not supposed to throw them. I'm talking about the RV super bags.
Okay.
No,
there's e-bags and super bags.
Yeah,
e-bags, you put your clothes in their little package.
The super bags. I thought, well, why don't they want you to throw that in the dryer? And I think because the zipper is plastic, and also when you put anything in the dryer, it really beats it up. So they say air dry.
Okay, well there you go. Kelly Courtney.
Oh, let's see. What do we got here? Was saying can't decide on a small pool trailer or a Class B. Pros and cons to both.
Well,
lead in your shoes. You shouldn't do it unless you have peace and you know exactly. You're sure that you're.
I love that expression. I have lead in my shoes. So you gotta push or get up. What is it? I better not. I think that's a stupid saying. Anyway,
make your list.
Yeah. So what do you think the advantages of the B is you don't have to set up much except pull in and maybe put a couple leveling blocks and you're set up. The disadvantage is when you set up your trailer, you still have that tow vehicle to run around and do errands or go sightseeing or whatever you want to do. When you have a small Class B, unless you have a big enough to pull a towed with, and that really doesn't make a lot of sense. Otherwise, get a bigger RV. you got to break camp and drive off in your Class B, and then you got to find a parking spot for them. Those are two of the advantages.
I would say the chances of your having to get out of your camping site quick, I would say that's not going to happen. But if you wanted to get out quick, you could get out quicker
Yeah.
with your motor home. A disadvantage of the motor home is that it costs more.
Yeah.
You've got
Taxes,
your
license
trailer,
plate. Yeah.
you've got your truck or whatever you're pulling that trailer with.
I think the overall cost probably equals out. Depends how big the trailer is, because you do have to have a tow vehicle, unless you already do. Another advantage is the trailer is less expensive than a motorhome. Most of the new motorhomes are at least 100,000, and many of them well north of that.
I would say that it's easier to drive a Class B than to pull a trailer.
Yes, because you got to learn about backing up. You got to remember taking very wide turns. You got to be a little more careful about getting caught in crosswinds. You have to have, a trailer brake on your RV, and you need to know how to use that. If you have to come to a power stop, you can't just slam on the brakes. You need to kind of pump a little bit, because you don't want it to sway. Overall, a B is a lot easier.
So I think the Bs are the easiest to drive. And then the fifth wheels, because it really becomes part of the truck. I know. I'm just saying, all of them, what's the easiest?
But she says it's in a small pull trailer. So
yeah, I was doing an overview of all.
Okay, well, you're going to have more room even in a small pull trailer than you probably will in a Class B, because a Class B is narrower. It doesn't have a slide. Trailer might have a slide, a small one. So, it's room. That's another thing. I think you'll find more room. And then there's fifth wheels are a whole new thing, a whole different thing, and a different level of complication, but still they're easier to tow than a.
That's what I wanted to say, that a fifth wheel is easier to tow than a trailer. And I don't know where camper vans fit.
And they're making smaller and smaller fifth wheels now too. So check it out. That's about a 20,000 foot overview of them. There's a lot more to all of that. Bob Lees.
Did you drive all the way from Nashville to the Gulf Coast in one day? Yes, we did, sir.
What was it? 440 miles?
Yeah. And then yesterday we drove from Michigan to Nashville.
That was 520 miles.
Yeah, we stayed with our daughter-in-law's son and grandson and had dinner with them last night. And that was absolutely delightful.
Nashville barbecue.
And every time I go to Nashville, I am just blown away how alive that city is.
It really is.
It's beautiful. It's alive. What can I say?
Music City. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did.
And we were so lucky, because we've had some bad luck the last few times we've been driving. We had perfect driving. Well, you drove. You did all the driving. Perfect driving conditions.
Light traffic.
We didn't get any. I love traveling on Saturday and Sunday. The traffic was heavy when we got to Nashville at about 5. And everybody's going to town and going to go have fun.
Nashville's always heavy, though, right?
Yeah, but it was fun.
Corrine Thomas.
Hello from Florida. When you leave your fifth wheel in Tennessee, do you put in all the slides and unhook it from all the utilities?
I leave the electricity on it. That's not a problem. It doesn't drain. There's no parasitic. All the batteries stay topped off. We're going to go up there to Tennessee next weekend for a couple, 3 nights. Why not?
We like to drive. We think it is so much fun.
Yeah. Well, actually, we're testing
driving back and forth like you guys can't believe.
We have like 5, really maybe 6 Class B vans that we're going to try out for a couple of nights, 3 nights, maybe a little longer in a couple of them, and just kind of come up with what we think are the best ones. And we'll tell you more about that when we get it started. But we're getting them not all at once, but we're using one for a few days, then the other one, and we'll have a lot of fun.
It should be fun.
Yeah, we'll tell you all about it when we start doing it. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So, but we are going back up to Tennessee next week. Bourbonnais, Illinois, or Bourbonnais. I don't know. Am I pronouncing it right? I know the bourbon part, but Bourbonnais, Illinois. Nice to have you with us. Thank you for checking in. Always good to see. Mirarez.
Hello from Munster, Indiana. My question, what do you think about the barn dominium? I just bought land, High Forest, Tennessee, and I would like to build a house. Do you know a person who had one built and their experience?
Several. You
Yeah.
really should come over to the Woodlands, which is 15 miles from the reserve at High Forest. Our friend Brad, who lives right behind us, Brad is an RV tech. How about that? I have an RV tech in the neighborhood.
We
and
need one.
Bard, he there's a couple of companies down there that build barn dominiums. He had them build the shell, but he did all the finish work himself. And then Nancy built one. We've got a couple of other neighbors that have built one and are now living in them, and others are planning it. Barn dominiums are very, very hot, and there's a couple of not hot. It's hot. I mean, hot like cool. And I think there's a couple others that are actually in the process of building one, or they've got it planned out. So lots of our neighbors have them, and there's a couple of companies that specialize in them down there, and they're Mennonite families. So they do.
You will be cool and trendy. We didn't know what a barn dominium was
No.
until a couple of years ago, and somebody said, "Build a barn dominium." Huh?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. So yeah,
So they are the
really
new
good.
cool thing.
Yep.
It's not a small house anymore. It's a barn dominium.
Everybody's been very happy with them too.
Yeah.
So, Greg Stanton.
Hello from Western New York. We watched your show. We watch your show all the time and enjoy it bunches. Barb and Greg.
Have you subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, Greg? Please do. If you haven't. Anybody else here, if you haven't subscribed, please give us a subscribe and thumbs up, because we've had a lot of fun with YouTube in the last week. We're doing several videos a week now. We just did one the other day that's had thousands of views, and it's about etiquette at a truck stop for RVers. So I urge you to take a look at that.
Everybody can just call us mom and dad.
Yeah. Bob Leach.
You would think campgrounds would eventually start having availability with the economy being what it is.
Well, the government says the economy's fine, Bob.
We
We know what you mean.
I think people always camp, but
Yeah.
it's getting harder to camp because prices are sure going up.
They're going up, and I don't see the demand lessening at
Yeah.
all. So yeah, that's a big reason why so many people are buying property, because you want to be able, and then you can kind of make it however you like, and it's fun. That's good. Lake Francis KS.
Is your RV park a good investment?
I don't have an RV park. Oh, you mean our property? No, it's not. It's not an investment. If you want to get an investment, buy property in Nashville where it's really booming. We are what they call Nashville's big yard. Eventually, I think it will be a good investment, but it was raw land, and it's still remote, pretty remote, even though, quite a community, at least our end of it, the Woodlands, which is a 2-year head start on the reserve. Reserve will be the same thing in a couple of years. But it's not an investment. Don't buy it for an investment.
Don't buy it as an investment.
It's just not there.
Not yet.
It's going to take a while.
In time.
Yeah, Chris Mondo Biondo. He's not. I think Chris is still out east on work, but he's normally from Kansas. Hello, Chris. And I know Chris and Amy are going to our gathering in our summer one.
We look forward to seeing it.
Celeste Dixon.
My husband and I just bought a slide-in truck camper
From Cirrus. Oh, good for you.
Oh.
Those are great brands. Good brands. You'll have a great time with that, Celeste. Congratulations to your husband. I bet he's excited.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Those truck campers are interesting.
Yeah. Sturgeon Photography, back to the internet. I'm not on Starlink now. Starlink is on my fifth wheel, which is in Tennessee. And if we are in Tennessee next week, we will be on Starlink, so you can watch it then.
And we very possibly could be.
Yeah, we I don't know where we'll be one day to the other most of the time, but that's kind of our general plan, a week out, that maybe we'll do this from Tennessee and our property next Sunday night.
And it might not work out,
we might do somebody else, but that's what I usually use when we're on the road, and it works great. That's a big reason I invested a lot in my system. It's not just Starlink; it's a top of the end router and dual SIM cards for different or triple. I actually have 3 different cell networks, and it looks for the best signal. I have absolutely fabulous. But the heart of it is Starlink, and I have even the large permanent roof-mounted antenna for Starlink, which I really, really am impressed with. So, but I'm not using it now. We're on cable, and this is our condo. If you're a regular, we know we have a condo in Florida, and the season for renting it, and we rent it out, is really just over the summer, the first 3 months of the summer, and that's about we kind of keep it to our family and ourselves, but we rent it out at that point. And we always spring break with family. They come down from spring break, and in fact, our daughter and granddaughter are coming down tomorrow night.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. Yeah. Inka Schultz.
Wondering if there are problems with a full body slide in a Class C. Concerned about slide failures as well. You should be. It depends on what brand you buy, and if you have a slide, normally they work good, but you hear all those horror stories about slides.
Yeah. A lot of the older ones had, we had slides on our first RV, our first fifth wheel, but it was minor and they fixed it. And if they fix it, I don't consider it a problem. So, but the slides are a lot better now, the systems that they use. A full body slide on a Class C is a lot of weight, and that makes you want to have really good hydraulics or whatever they're using to pull it in and push it out. I don't think it's hydraulics, but I would ask those who have the same unit. I'd find them and ask them, but and then I would make sure you have a great manufacturer's warranty on it.
Yeah, a company you've bought from, a company that stands behind their product, and how long it's going to take to get it serviced, and time.
Yep.
I don't know what maintenance you need to do to it.
Not a lot with the slide, but I've not heard of a lot of problems with it. I don't know which one it is, and it depends on the quality of your manufacturer, all that stuff. But you can probably ask around on different forums, ask a forum for that manufacturer, and you can find one. Vicky Knapp.
Well, this is a sad tale. We have an open range trailer, and the top layer of the paper countertop just split into all directions. Suggestions for replacing the countertop. The wood underneath is great.
I'd ask it. I'd find a small carpenter shop someplace, and have them come look at it. And I bet that's something that they could do pretty simply for you, pretty easy. Small carpenter. I mean, you can probably pick out whatever countertop you want.
Wonder how old.
Yeah. And you say paper countertop, I think you probably mean pressed paper, and they do that to save money. The manufacturers do, and also weight.
They say weight.
Yeah. So I wouldn't put like a quartz or cement countertop on it, but you could probably do something nice with some kind of a veneer or something. So, but a small carpenter shop is where I'd go.
If you could connect somehow with people who there's a lot of people that buy the vintage trailers and they fix them up.
Yeah, look at some of the vintage forums. Go on Facebook or
what they do,
because
they would be the wealth of knowledge, I would think.
Yep, and that's a good thing. Bob Leach.
If you drive I-65 through Birmingham on your way to Florida, you're going to wish you'd taken a detour. I-65 in Birmingham has to be the worst.
I think it's improved a lot. I've noticed when we hauled our fifth wheel up 2 weeks ago, it went pretty good. When we came back down this time, we had no issues at all in Birmingham. When going southbound, you want to stay in the passing lane as much as you can. It's not a problem because I wasn't towing anything, so I can. That truck goes. But I do think that they have done some repairs to it, because it's not as bad this year as we have noticed in past years. Same with I-65 just south of Louisville. It seems to improve. There's one big bump up there, though. Yeah. Jack Bartain's, that to me is the absolutely worst city in the country is Atlanta. Hands down. The roads are okay. It's just the traffic.
The drivers.
Yeah.
And the drivers, but more and more drivers are getting absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And even in driving through Nashville, they had that 7 inches of snow in Nashville, and it stayed a long time. And it did take a toll on a lot of their roads.
Yeah. Charles Engel is going to go full-time in a Reflection 31 with a Murphy bed. Good for you, man. you have fun.
Yeah.
You're fixing to go. Charles must be down south or out in Texas. Road trip, buddy. We haven't eaten dinner yet.
No,
it's your
we haven't
turn.
eaten dinner yet.
And in fact,
I don't
we want
know.
to end it. We're
I don't
hungry as
know. I
bears.
don't know what dinner is going to be tonight since we just got in here. The only good thing about the condo is we were down here 2 weeks ago and I didn't put everything away because when you rent, you have to put everything away. And I was nervous because I thought as soon as I leave stuff out, something will happen that we won't be coming back.
I'm thinking.
But we still got.
I'm thinking
When
shrimp.
you rent,
We're on the
we've
Gulf.
got
Let's
to-
go get some shrimp tonight.
we've got new patio furniture to buy and we got stuff we got to do.
Stoobies, right?
Maybe
Stoobies,
Yeah.
shrimp dinner.
the Stoobies or ribs from Old Bay Steamer,
Ooh,
but
yeah.
probably Stoobies.
Mark Albert. Oh, hey, Mark, we haven't heard from you in a long time. Mark, I don't know.
Oh, hi to Bo.
Bo is over here.
Bo's sitting here right now. This is probably Bo's least favorite place to be.
Yeah.
The condo.
It's hot. But he gets to go to the dog park in the morning.
Uh,
Mark used to live in Panama City Beach, and I think he's moved. Glad to see you on there. Big Jim Slade.
okay, on the
or
topic of
Santa Claus. Yeah.
on the topic of campground availability, I saw a state the other day that indicated there has been about a 10% increase in camping in the last 5 years, but the number of RVers is up 80%.
I would
Woo!
hold that to be probably pretty accurate, Big Jim. I think it really is. I'm going to take 2 more. We'll get 2 more comments from you, and then
We're gonna go get some vittles
we're gonna get some
because
food
we're on
before-
Eastern
we're still
time.
on Eastern time, and if you eat too late, you end
You get a
up
boo-boo belly.
you don't sleep well that night. And,
Yeah.
Okay. Question 1: Joy Peterson, our Pleasureway on tour, ordered last fall. On the way to them in Wisconsin.
Awesome. We decided to downsize from our LTV Unity rear
Rear.
lounge. Can we do with less space and greater mobility?
She said yes, can do with less
Oh.
space. Good for you. The on tour is a smaller unit. I think it's got that pop top on it from
Mm-hmm.
Pleasureway. Glad you're getting it. That's not too bad if you ordered it last fall. Bob Leach's favorite restaurant in Destin. What's the name of that steakhouse that we went to the other night?
Jackson's.
Jackson's Steakhouse. Oh.
That's Pensacola.
And then what's this? What's the great that great sea place?
You like
Kathy
Dewey
Lesser.
Destin. Oh,
That's
you like
not
Dewey
Pensacola.
Destin. Pensacola, you like Jackson's Steakhouse.
But there's that
Jackson's.
great seafood. I can't. It's escaped me. Then there's also Hemingway's too, which is pretty nice out there.
There's lots
So
of
lots of good restaurants in Pensacola.
Yeah.
So it's actually a cool thing. We have not been to. We don't go to Perdido Key, so don't need that.
Yeah, we just don't go there.
Yeah, but Jackson's Steakhouse, not bad, not bad. Okay, that was quick, and we're gonna go get some food. I hope you don't mind us cutting it out quick.
I did
but,
feed Bo. Bo, you have to feed Bo or there's no living with him.
Yeah,
Bo's
Bo's
sitting right
content.
beside me.
One last pitch, if you guys haven't, please come on over to the community. You can continue this conversation. I check in all the time. You can instant chat with me anytime. You'll see Phyllis on there. You'll see Wendy on there. You'll find other members. It's the most welcoming, warm, helpful group I've been in 12 years. And I wish we'd started it a long time ago, but we'd love to have you guys come be a part of it. And we will be on next week. We've got lots coming on the podcast. Be sure and check it. Big interview this week on the podcast. What happens if you need medication and you're on the road? Can you get it in advance? And I think you'll find this a really good
You won't want to
interview.
miss this week.
Yeah, that's good. All right.
You done?
I'm done. You
All
got
right.
something?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you don't have anything?
Oh, other than saying happy trails.
You got to say happy trails. All right.
I won't sing it. I'll just say it. Happy
okay.
trails.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Happy